we are going to do today. Okay, this is part of the Selenium Challenger series that Agile Testing Alliance has started, and we will talk here about how to test your applications on multiple.
Hey guys, can you hear me? And I think you're not able to hear Soumya Mukherjee. Can you please confirm that? Are you able to hear me? Okay, so I think you can hear me, but you're not able to hear Soumya. So
I will start again. Sorry guys, I think I was on mute. Trying to. Can you hear me now, guys? All right. So I was talking about the Selenium Challenger series that we have started with Agile Testing Alliance. The first challenge is, we will talk about is testing on multiple browser versions, for your application. Now, I would like to ask one question to all of you guys, which is, what does the automation tester do typically while he or she is in an automation project? What are the tasks that he or she is doing? Can anybody of you answer the question? All right, so let me go and okay, build framework with whatever language required, like VB or QTP or Java or Selenium. All right. All right. Okay. So let me go ahead and talk about very simple tasks. What I feel is required for any tester to basically, would they would perform. So the one simple task that they will perform is take the test case for automation. As we know that for any automation project, we need a test case, and we will do some analysis about that test case where we would see that whether it is automable, which tool, whether my objects are being recognized, do I have a repository, okay, does my tool generate logs, all those kinds of things. So once we pass on the POC phase, we take up a test case for automation, and we would code out script the case. Okay, so when I say code or script the case, let me take an example, which is we'll open a Google page, and we will basically go and put our search string, probably click on go, and then we will see whether my results are in place or not. Once we will code the test case, obvious task is to execute. Okay. Now, when we will start doing our execution, we would know that, we will basically execute on a browser. But typically in this case, what happens is like it is obviously very dependent on what my client thinks. So what does my client thinks? My client thinks that, the script that you guys have written needs to be executed on different platforms like Windows, Mac, Linux. Okay. And you need to also test this application or the script on various browser versions. Okay, so my client says and thinks that I need to execute my script and Firefox 42, 46, 47. Okay, so that's what my client thinks. So what should I typically do, or any one of you would do? Can anybody answer what you guys would do? Shivram, you can also patch in, and you can also tell us that what we should do here. So let's quickly see so okay, so I'm thinking, and probably many of you guys would be also thinking, what should we do here is, so there is an idea wherein we will do a parallel execution. Okay, now when I say parallel execution, that means that I need to set up my automation lab in which I will have my uh, different setup of my browsers with the versions, and obviously I would need which platform I would like to run in. So it is Windows. So if you look at here, I have Windows 42, 47, and then I have a Firefox version here, okay, which is of Mac, and each machine I tagged it as M1, M2, and M3, okay, and it's a 4 GB hardware that I'm going to use. Now here, what we would use or to do parallel execution is we would use a tool or a framework or an execution framework called as TestNG. Now in this webinar, I'm going to showcase how to basically use a TestNG, and how to basically parallelly execute your case. So let's quickly go ahead and make a simple case or a project, okay, and we will see that what are the things that are required to do so. So let me open my Eclipse. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. So let me quickly create a project, and you guys can also. So I'm creating a project which is my Google test. So I'll create a project, Java project, next, and I say Google tests, and I say next, and say finish. Okay, so I can see that the project is all in. Now the basic fundamental of creating a test case here is I need to have a project structure in place for any automation project. So let me create a quick quick project structure. So in Java, all the test cases that are needs to be executed has to be inside a source folder. So I have a source folder called as SRC. Let me utilize that, or I can create one more for you guys. So let me quickly go and create a source folder called as tests, where all my tests will be reside. And then I need to basically package all my cases, okay, which I'm going to write. So my package name is Google Tests, and I create a package. Now everybody knows that when you start using Selenium, you will write code in Java, so you need to have a class. So I will create a class file and name it as a tc underscore Google test, Google basic test. So I'll create a class. Now, do you guys think that this, if I would like to execute this class, or if I start writing my tests in this particular class, it will execute? I don't think so, because you will need libraries to basically go ahead and execute your tests inside the class. So let me quickly create a folder called as lib, where all my jar files will reside. Now, either I can create this kind of a structure, or I can simply use Maven structure here as well, where I can put all my dependencies in the POM file, and it will be taken care of from by Maven. So I will have another project where libs are already present. Let me quickly put all my libs in my lib structure, and now when I will start writing my test, I need to reference these two libraries to my uh, project workspace. So to basically do that, I need to basically go ahead and configure my build path, wherein I will start adding my jar files, which I have copy pasted here, uh, in order to basically use the libraries from these jar files. Now so this is my basic structure which I have created, which consists of a source file, a package, a class, and I have a couple of lib files. Now in order to run a basic or create a basic test in NG, you all know, or probably whoever doesn't know about it, we need annotations. Now annotations are required to basically modularize and use capabilities of test ng here. So I will start writing certain annotations. So and I tell all the guys that you have to have the structure in place, and then we'll start writing the script. So it becomes really easy. So I'll use an annotation called as before test, because I want to initialize my variables and my driver here, so that yeah, and it would be only once, so I will be using before test here. We'll come back to the presentation again once we finish this. We will put @test. Now this also comes from ng, and I will have my after test, which also comes from ng. So these are the basic steps. Now I always tell people that whenever you will write annotations, it has to be followed by a method. So let's create a method here called as public void, and let me name it as setup, and then first create all the structure. Public void, this is my Google basic test, or I will say Google search test, and then I will say public annotations followed by method name, public void end, and that's about it. It gives me an error because my project is obviously not compliant with the JRE. So let me do that. Now when our structure is ready, now we will start putting our code here in place in these sections. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and ask in between. Now here what I have to do is, let me go back to the presentation and see what needs to be done. So I need to pass an ng XML, okay, to my hub. Now this, for parallel execution, we would be using the capabilities of grid. Now Selenium grid basically helps me in doing parallel testing across browser versions platforms in my automation lab. Now how to create or pass the ng XML. So let me go back to my project and let me create a basic test here, and then probably we will see how we can enhance it and make an ng XML. So I create an object for WebDriver here, which is a global variable used across the sections of my code. Now if I basically put the driver object, make an driver object inside the method, the scope lies only within the function, which is not obviously not right, because I need to use the driver object here as well. So I will make a global object here and then probably initialize it with new Firefox driver. Now this is my driver object which we have created, and then using the driver object I would like to open my website Google. Now once I do this, okay, what would happen is that it will basically, when I'll run this case, it will launch the Firefox. So let's quickly run this and see if this works. So it should open Firefox. It will initialize the Firefox driver and basically run. So how would I know that who will run my test? I basically go and mouse over on the annotation. It tells me an ng, so I need to run it via ng. So let me run this test using ng test, and what this would do is this will open up Firefox, and it will punch in google.com for me. Now it does not do any steps, because I have not written any test in my Google search test. Now so what happened here is when I basically executed my test, since I have a Mac machine, it opened up the Firefox browser in my Mac machine. But the challenge here is that I want to execute in the different machines to make it parallel. So let's see if we can and do that. Okay, so for that, what I need to do is my primary requisite is pass my ng XML to hub. So for first we need to create an ng XML. So let me create the ng XML here. The easiest way to do this is right click on your test and go here on ng option and then convert to ng. Now what it gives me is a wizard which tells me that, okay, this is an ng XML. This is the structure. So it starts with a suit name, test name, and class. Now class is basically my test. So it tells me that this is the package where your class resides. So I said okay. Now since I need to run it on parallel mode, I will choose tests, because I need to run all my tests in my ng XML. And I would also say that since I need to run parallelly, on different machines, my thread count is 5 or 50 or 100, whatever it is. So I'll say next, and I would say finish. Once I do that, if you look at it, I can see an ng XML being created. Now thread count did not come here, that's fine. Let me create the tag for you. Okay. So now I have passed on my first phase wherein I have to basically create an ng XML. I've created that. Now either I can run from here or I can run my test through an ng XML. So let me run this ng XML and see what it does. And let's come back and see whether it suffices. So what happens is, like, when I run the ng XML, Selenium server would basically read this XML. Okay, it will first go to the ng framework. ng framework will pass on the XML file to my Selenium standalone server, and it will tell that which test to run. Now what will happen is the test gets picked up, and whatever is written inside the class, it will basically run it. So let's run this and see. It should open a Firefox on my Mac machine. So I'll run as test ng suit. So it opens up Firefox and it opens up Google. So we achieved the first phase wherein we created an ng XML, and it got successfully executed. Now this is what I not wanted. I wanted that I need to run it on different platform. So I want to do something in my XML which will basically pass my test to hub, and hub will basically know where I need to run this in my lab. So what I'll do is uh, I will basically connect or create the architecture for this phase now. We completed this part. Now let's create this, and then we will see how to connect hub with ngxml. Guys, do we have any questions so far? चैट सेक्शन देखना उसका, चैट सेक्शन में लिखते हैं वो लोग. All right. So what I'll do is, in order to achieve this infrastructure wherein I need to basically connect my hub with need to connect my hub with all the machines, what I have to do is I need to create the hub first. Now, what is hub? Hub is basically the central or the master which basically manages all the nodes in the infrastructure or in my automation lab. So let us start the hub here. Now I've opened the terminal. So what I'm trying to do here is I will create the hub on my Mac machine, and I will create my nodes in my VM. So I've created a VM, and I will have the nodes in my Windows machine, and let's see how it works. So first I need to create my hub part. So I go to my war folder and I write a simple command called as java-jar Selenium standalone server 2.53.1. Now here we are not using 3.0.0, still it is in beta version. We would be taking the stable version here. Now here I'm telling that, okay, you need to run your standalone server. Now how would you like to run it? What is your role? So it says that my role is hub, and I would sit for your commands for these many milliseconds. So I said, okay. So let us start the hub. Now you can see here that my Selenium grid hub is up and running, and it says that all the nodes should basically start registering themselves in this particular IP. So how would I know that my hub is up and running? From the command terminal it is okay, but what I'll do is I'll basically open up a Firefox instance, and here I will basically say that I will have a page for node for the hub, and I will say localhost hold on 4444 / if I do this, it gives me a page. I go to console and I can see that my hub is up and running. I can see a Selenium page which says this is a grid console. Now you can see that no node is being registered to my hub. What I need to do is I need to go to my VM which is on Windows. I want to create a node here. So what I'll do is I'll say cmd. I would need the Selenium standalone server here. So I can see that I have a Selenium standalone here. So I say java-jar Selenium standalone 2.53. Role node. That means how should you run? You should run as a node, but where is your hub? My hub is, I need to give the IP 25. Now which port /grid/register. If I do this, okay, what would happen? That my node would start running and it will connect to the hub. Now how would I know whether my node is up and running or not? I need to go to the grid console now and refresh. Now if you look at here, that a node is being registered and the default port is given 5555. Now this comes from 103. So my grid infrastructure is ready. So this part is achieved where I have connected my hub with my infrastructure. This is hub, this is Firefox, and this is how it gets connected. Now what I'll do here is, now the left part is achieved, the right part is achieved. Now let's connect NG with hub. How would I connect NG with hub? What I need to do is, I need to basically, when I will basically call this NG XML, I need to pass the test to the hub. Now how do I do that? If I basically write new Firefox driver, it will create the web driver in my local machine. Now, but if I write new remote web driver and I say here new URL http 192.168.1.125:4444/wd/hub, what this would do, I need to import this java.net and it would say caps. It is giving an error because it says that you need an argument for capabilities. Now why capabilities are required is because if I would like to run it for different versions, different platforms, I have to have capabilities defined so that my hub knows that, you know, from where I need to go and execute this test. So I'll create a simple capability here for now and we will see what needs to be done. So desired capabilities caps equals caps, and then I would say caps equals desired capabilities dot Firefox. Now what does this mean is that it throws exception. Now what it means that I am saying my Selenium test that when you will pass the script to hub, one that you need to run this test is on Firefox. So what my hub do is it knows where is Firefox in my network and start executing the script. So you will see that, you know, I'm passing the test to this particular URL, which is nothing but my hub IP and port, and and this hub knows that where is my Firefox. Now right now we have not talked about the version, it is only the hub and Firefox on Windows. So if I want, I can put the version here as well. Desired capabilities we'll talk about more in the coming section. So right now it is done, and now if I will run the test, what would happen is it should work now in my remote machine. Now let us run the ngxml, run as test ng suite. It opens up the Firefox, it launched the Firefox, and it basically executed the Google, it opened up the Google URL. Now isn't it fantastic? Yes, it is, because we have utilized or used the capabilities of NG, used it with Selenium Grid, and that's how it is. Do we have any questions so far? All right. So I hope that you guys are able to understand what we are talking about. We can, Aditya, we can do that. We can execute on local as well as remote simultaneously as well.
Hello, Soumya.
Yes.
Hi, this is Mandar. I just wanted to know whether this session can be recorded, because many of our colleagues, who had participated in this CPSAT course, and they could not join, so they have requested if this can be recorded.
Yes, this is being recorded by the Testing Alliance, and this would be available on YouTube. So no
All right. Okay.
worries.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Now to answer Aditya's question, very good question here. Can we start executing on local and remote? Yes, it is very easy. Let us quickly do that. Now what I'll do is I'll go to ngXML. Okay. Now I want to run the case on local as well as on remote. Now how to do that is very simple. Either you accommodate everything in the single test, or what I'll do is I'll create another section here. Now I name it as test1 and test2, and I want to run test1 on local, which is the case Google Basic Test, and I want to run this section test2 in my remote. Now to do this, what I need to do is pass on parameters. Now how to pass on parameters is something like, in this section I'll put a section called as parameter, name as where. Okay, now you can put any name here. Okay, now I am saying that where I would like to execute this. This I need to run it on local, and this I would like to run, this section I would like to run on remote. Okay. Now what I'm trying to do here is I'm telling my hub that okay, you are very good in executing my test. Now I want you to take this parameter, okay, and start executing where I would like you to do it. Now since we have changed the parameter, let's quickly change our script as well. Now it is like cricket. Now you would know that there is a bowler which will bowl, and if the batsman doesn't hit, the ball goes to the wicket keeper. Now this section is the bowler. Now he is bowling, okay, to my hub, or to, and he is bowling and sending a parameter. Okay. Now there needs to be someone who would catch it. Unless we catch it, we don't know what needs to be done with that ball. So what I will do is, let's quickly catch this here. So I will say here that okay, in my before test, you will run as a before test, but you will also will get certain parameters here, which is nothing but where. Now I'm basically making a wicket keeper, and I'm saying here where you would like to run the test. Okay, so this will bowl, and this section will catch, this section will catch. Now inside my script, what I'll do is I'll basically create a switch statement, or I can say a simple if statement rather than switch. I would say where dot equals local. What you need to do is you need to create driver equals new Firefox driver, and else if you get in where remote, this is what we pass, local and remote. What you need to do is you need to run this section. Now remember one thing, when you are coding your script, you need to make sure one thing, that you need to indent your script. It is better to understand, because if I do not indent, I do not know from where the sections are. So now what this would do, I'm passing on the parameter. Okay, so when I run the Exchange XML, it starts throwing the parameter. What it basically do is it creates two instances of my test, because this is one instance and this is another instance with this parameter. Here I have handled the parameter where it says that if I would like to run on local, it should open up up in local or in remote it should. So let's run this and see if parallelly it runs. Right click and say run as ng suite. I'll close my Firefox browser, or let it be, because this is my grid console. I will run this and I'll say run as ng suite. What it would do is it has launched here one and it has launched here one as well. Isn't it cool? Yeah, so it is very easy to handle where you would like to run. Now, only thing that you guys need to understand here is when anybody asks you a question that how ngXML or testng works, it basically instantiate the number of blocks that you have written here, that many number of times. Since I have 2 test blocks, it has basically made an instance of my class 2 times. That's what is the logic here. Yeah, so it is simple and it is easy. Now any test I would like to run here, I can say driver.get and henceforth all my test things I can write here. Now this is not I wanted you to show. Okay, what I wanted you to show is something very different. Now this, I hope Aditya answered your question, and if anybody have any question they can also ask as well. Aditya? Cool. Right, so what have we done? Let's quickly go back and, sorry, iTunes is not in scope of testing. We made an ngXML quickly. We up the infrastructure wherein we have hub, we have Firefox. Now this is a 2 GB machine, but here I have written 4K. Obviously because in my automation lab I have different machines. I have an IP or port. Now hub always understands or listen to 4444. Now this is what we have achieved. Now is this what I wanted to say? No. How about having multiple Firefox on one machine? How about having multiple Firefox on one machine? That means what I wanted is, can I install Firefox of different versions, okay, in a single machine, so that I basically save on my infrastructure or save on my RAM, because I understand that I have a 4 GB machine and only one Firefox instance is running in it. Okay, I may be having Chrome, I may be having IE, but it won't utilize 4 GB of RAM. So what I'll do is, okay, let me quickly show you, and this is what I wanted, that I need a single machine which caters to multiple versions of Firefox on a single machine. So I utilize my hardware in much better way. You can understand that I have a VM running. That means it will eat up my CPU, eat up my memory, and it will sit on till the time it basically is running. So it will eat up as much resources it would, right? So this is what I wanted to you guys to tell. Now the test remains the same. Okay, I have my ngXML which we have made. I have a hub, I have a node, but here there's a twist. Okay, now this is, okay, can you just hold? Sorry Subramaniam, we cannot make you a presenter here. You can type on the chat whatever you would like to ask. Alright, so let's come back to the presentation. So our ngXML is all okay. I have a hub, I have a machine. Now this is what I wanted, where I would like to run different versions of Firefox. Now the twist is how to do that. How many people know that how to do this? Or have we ever thought about it? Because hardwares are so cheap nowadays that everybody would like to cut as many machines as they want, but the client is they are very rigid in paying up the hardware. So I show you how to do that. Now Cool. So I will maximize my VM. So we'll work on the Windows now. Cool. Now I'll showcase. So we'll talk about the infrastructure first. So I need a hub. I need a node which is 42 and 47 version on the same machine. Now to do that, you guys might be knowing Firefox profile. Yeah. So we'll utilize that capability of Firefox profile and we will install the different versions of Firefox. I'll show you. Now here what I have on my VM is the profile of version 42 and 47. Okay. Now what I'll do is I will start two versions. Let me first show you how it looks like. So I'll click on 42 and let's say this help about this is 42. 42 as well. Let me quickly go back, go to my 47 version and let's quickly invoke it as well. So oops. So I copy and I say run, pasted it. So console 42. Let me check. Okay, so it both the time gives me 42 and 42. Let us go back and check. It's not happening. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. So let me close the Firefox and let's try again if that works. Yes. Oh God. Just hold on for a moment. All right. So this is 43. Let us quickly install 46 and see if that works. Okay. So I'll go back to computer. Let us quickly download, or I have all the downloads available. Let me quickly go and install 47 for you if that is not there. So I will say run. It may be a case that when it has got internet, it basically. So I go to custom. Okay, when I install my Firefox, and here if you look at it, I'm installing 47, and let's make the folder name as 47. Okay, so I can give the destination folder. Now, only thing that you need to remember one thing is whenever you will install like this, do not open your Firefox unless and until you create a profile. When you create a profile, okay, what it does is basically links your profile with the exe version. So it may have happened that when I had 47, it's it's 42, it upgraded it to 43. So I say next, and I do not want anything on my desktop, and I do not want Firefox to be my web browser. I am not launching my Firefox now because unless and until so I already have a profile. Let me also install 46. So I have multiple versions here. Run. Next, custom. Next. Now this is my 46. Next. I do not want anything in my desktop. Do not want to make this and say install. Now this is very simple. Where we have installed 46 and 47. Now let us make the profiles. So I'll open up, this is 47, 42, and I'll make a profile for 46. So this is FF46. Now where we need to choose and save the profiles, I've created a folder, profiles on my desktop here, where it saves all the profiles. So I'm giving the path of the section and I say finish. Okay, so it saves the Firefox and links the profile to the path. Now I say exit. Now all my profiles are being created. Now what is the difference? So let us first go back and now open up my different versions. So I can see here in a single machine I have 42, 46 and 47. So I'll open up 46. I'll choose 46 and I say start Firefox. Not really. I'll say 46. Now let me go back and say 47. I'll link up with 47. It opens up and gives me 47. And I will also open up 42. Let us see if that updates. So I'll link up with 42. And I go to about Firefox, it's a 43. That means it has updated. So we are not going to consider. So we can use 43. That's not a problem for 42. So let's do it for 46 and 47 here now. Now we have completed installing different versions of Firefox on the single machine. Now let us quickly connect it with the infrastructure. Okay. So what needs to be done here? One thing that we need to do is complete this infrastructure wherein I need the hub and I need to connect the node to the hub. So what I'll do is, is my hub running? Yes, my hub is running. How would I know that my hub is running? I go to Grid Console and it says it is not connected because yes, I have removed the node. That's fine. It will go away in some time. Now what I'll do is, or probably let me close the grid and create another hub. Desktop Java-jar, what is my role and how much time out of commands I will take. Oops, sorry. Selenium standalone 1.jar. Hub is up and running. Yes, it is. Now I'll go to my infrastructure or a machine where I will start creating my node. Now I've already created because it's a big command. Now if you look at this command, and I hope that it is visible to all of you guys, I would say that I need to run my server using the role node. That means it is a node where is my hub located? This is my IP where my hub is located. What is a browser, okay, that I would like to make this node? I'd say browser name Firefox and version 46. Okay, and which profile do I need to use? So you guys might be using -d WebDriver dot, okay, for Chrome and okay, and IE. So this is another capability which is there, which says Firefox profile. Now we have created a profile for 46, and similarly we have created the profile for 47 as well. So I have profile equals FF47, okay, and same way what is my role node, but here I listen on port 5556, and here I will listen on port as 5557. So let me quickly run this on my command prompt and create quickly the node. All right. Unable to access jar file. Okay, so it is in my C drive. Apologies for this. Paste, enter. Okay, so my node is registered to the hub and ready to use. Similarly, I will create for my version 47 as well. So let me copy this as well and open up another version, and so what happens in my hub once the node is registered? What would have happened? Let us quickly go and check on my hub. So it makes it basically connects to two nodes for browser 46 and 47. Now in our capabilities we have given that which Firefox profile to use. So if I go to configurations, I can verify that this is my IP, this is my hub host, my port, this is the port I am running on, this is the version you need to basically connect with, okay, and this is the Firefox profile that I would listen to. The similar case is there for 47 and the version 47. Yeah, so I am basically would be would be catering to the requirement what my client asked, okay, for different versions and different on different platform and on different browser. Now, but the twist here is on the single machine rather than using distributed machines. Okay, it is a distributed architecture, but all the versions are in the same machine. We can do that for Chrome and IE as well. Okay. All right. So what is that I need to change in my XML now? So I will go ahead and quickly tell you this. For that, I have created a project to make it simple. Here I have my source folder is src, my package name is test, and I have a Google test. Now what changes here is in my XML is this. I am passing on two parameter saying that what is the profile I'll talk to. I'll talk to the profile 46. Okay. Now and my profile 47. Now here the good part is that another parameter that we will pass is the binary. That means where is my Firefox installation being done. Okay, now I assume that this is 46 and this is my Firefox 47 version. Now this is not cross 86, this will be under program files, right? This is what we have seen here, right? We'll go to computer, we will see whether it is all in there. Yes, Firefox 46, 47. So this path or this path of the folder is being passed as an parameter. Okay. Now what is the version? 42. Here it should be 46 and 47. Now which test to run? Same test, Google test and Google test. What this would do? This would instantiate two instances of my class, throw the parameters so that, and I need somebody to catch it. So I have defined three parameters: profile, binary, version, and I have taken it in these variables: profile, binary, and version. Here I have defined the desired capabilities as Firefox, however with two additional capabilities. One is profile and one is binary. What this would do is, when I utilize this, what it would do, it will utilize the profile of Firefox on the remote machine, because I've used remote WebDriver, and it would utilize the binary. That means it will utilize the path where my Firefox instance is being installed. So let us quickly run this and see if this works. Okay. So I'll go to my ngXML. It should connect to my hub and pass on the value. So I'll say test ngXML run as ngsuit. So it opened up one Firefox instance on the machine. Okay. It gives an error. No. So let us quickly see which version it basically. So this is 46 and 47. It gave an error. Okay, there was some problem for which it did not. It may be coming up because my test is still running. If this is not working, we will see for 42. No, it skips one. So what we will do is we'll quickly change it to, we'll quickly install 42 in place here, or rather what I'll do is we'll remove program files. I will see 43, so I'll remove, uninstall this, quickly uninstall this. I have 46, 47 and 47.0.1. So this has been updated, that's the reason it didn't work. Now this is 47, let me uninstall this as well. We will quickly install 42, run. Yes, continue custom. This will be my Firefox 42. Next, desktop, next, install. I'll not launch because I will set the profile. I'll say 42, or I'll delete the profile and I'll create another profile for 42. Finish or choose folder, desktop, where my profile is will be stored. Okay, I deleted the file, so I will create a folder. And I'll say select the folder and say finish. So this is done. Now let us quickly see if 42, it will open 42 for us. Program files 42, Firefox links with 42, and not now, not now, not now. Menu bar, Firefox, this is 42. It's getting updated. So let's quickly run this, or we can close the update, but that's fine. So we'll change our script a bit. I will say 46 and 42. 42. I saved this, and one of my it give us an error. So here I will change it to 42 version in my capabilities, and to my Firefox profile. This gets launched. Let us quickly see the console. This 42 and 46 is being utilized. So we need to basically go ahead and check the infrastructure, because if that is not running, then it won't work. All good, 42 and 46. Let us quickly go to configurations. Yes, this is FF46, 46 version, 42 and FF42, perfect. So let us quickly run this now. So 42, 42, okay. Run as test in GXML suite. It opens up the VM. It opens up the node or the Firefox, and it opens up another one. So can you see here? Let's verify which version it is. Firefox 42 is getting updated. So let's quickly close this. And menu bar about Firefox, this is 46. That means we have achieved what we wanted to do, which is having multiple versions in one single machine, connect it with profile, and create its capability in terms of the profile while creating the node, connect that to the hub, and pass on the desired capabilities similar to what we have created the node, and that's about it. We just need to pass on the XML to hub, and it works perfectly well. Now this we can do it for Chrome, this we can do it for IE, but we can take up this later in another webinar session, and this is what it is. Yeah, do we have any questions? So you can connect me on Twitter. This is my connection. Yes, we can take up any questions that you guys have.
Hi Soumya, this is Mundar.
Yeah, man.
I just wanted to know how to see that Firefox profile, because I gave the same command, it is not coming up actually.
Are you working on your company infrastructure? All right, so the command is very simple. You can go and run, and you can see firefox.exe. The Firefox should not be opened, because what it does is it basically utilizes the default profile of the current Firefox version, and it runs. So make sure that you do not have your Firefox open, and then just type this capital P, small p, or you can also write profile manager. This should come up.
Okay.
Okay, but your Firefox should not be opened. Else what it does is basically, if you look at it, once it opens up, in your case, you would see a default profile. So all your Firefox that you use in your even in your company laptop or on machine or your home laptop, it uses that default profile.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So this is how you basically save on your hardware. You basically make sure that you run multiple instances or versions of the browser on the single machine to utilize that hardware, and this is pretty cool. Okay. Now there are way arounds for Chrome and IE. You may go on the internet and search for a lot of people saying about different stuff, but there are ways to do that as well. Okay. So you guys can connect me on Twitter. Any questions you can just push me in, and if you have any more queries, I'll be happy to take that up. I hope you guys have understood what we tried to do today.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Soumya, for this wonderful presentation. I would request all participants, if you have any questions, please chat on the chat window, and I would be able to unmute you so that you can speak your question. This recording will be also available on YouTube very soon, so that folks who have missed this webinar can have a look and still connect with Soumya on Twitter, so that they can ask their questions. Another thing which we are going to do is we would be doing this as a series. We would be coming up with more Selenium challenges, and we would be presenting them as part of Tester Be Coder initiative. And we would also request all the participants that if you are having any challenges in Selenium, do connect with us, and we would be happy to present it on our next webinar. So you would receive soon a feedback form. In that you can put your feedback, you can put your request for next webinar topic, and from there we can take it ahead. Any questions, guys? So that means Soumya, they have understood everything, is it?
No, Mayur has a question. It says, is that possible to implement same technique for different browsers with different versions? Yes, it is. You can also do it with Chrome and IE, but just need to make sure that your platform is the same, because if I have a Mac, it works a little differently on Mac, and if you have Windows or Linux, it works a little differently. Why I chose Windows today? Because that's globally accepted infrastructure for work for all the guys throughout. Next webinar, we can see how we can do that on Mac, but it is the same everywhere. Am I able to answer your query? All right, Mayur. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much for joining us, and we shall see you in the next webinar.
Thank you. Thank you, Soumya.
Thanks, bye.